Hey. So I told y'all I would be on at 5. I kind of pulled a little moment, had to come on at 5:15, had to take Bella out to use the restroom. So hi y'all. Hey. I always love being here with y'all. I forgot my phone, guys. I have to go get my phone. 1 second. I'm gonna go get my phone. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hey, okay, I'm back. I'm back. Hey, okay, what am I doing today? What are we doing today? Oh, thank you guys for the saying you love the earrings. All the jewelry that you all compliment come from a friend of mine from Kenya, Phoebe and Juliet. Phoebe Ukangu and Juliet Aura. They get me beautiful jewelry. So this is some of their beaded Kenyan jewelry. And the last video that I did, so y'all make sure y'all check that out. That last video I did that came from Kenya as well. So the last time they were home, they bought me that and brought it back. Yeah, I got friends everywhere, y'all. Everywhere. I just love the blessings that God sends me. As for the lip color is a mixture of Fenty, the red by Fenty, the red Rihanna color. I forget it. And then a color by Sabrina Cross. I'll make sure that when I post this, that I put it in the notes for you. Sabrina Cross. I think the color is called Dabble, if I'm not mistaken. SabrinaCross.com. Love her. She's my makeup artist. So she's the one that does my makeup for all the shoots that you guys see, those types of things. She's amazing. She's here in Houston. Just a wonderful woman. So yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I told you guys that I was going to answer questions. I was going to talk about the future. I was going to talk about things. Thank you guys. Let me take time to say this. Thank you guys. I just took my braids out, so my hair is a little bit rough, but it's all right. It's getting back to normal. I had braids for like a month, if you remember, and Bella's in the background moving all around. Who said, Shanice, you better stop it talking about you can't wear lipstick because it make your lips look bigger. Girl, you better love your lips. You better love them. I used to always wish that I had fuller lips. But I guess I grew into them and they all right by my body. But I used to always wish I had fuller lips. But God gives us what he gives us and it works out. So you better work them beautiful lips. Y'all, I got a little bit of wine today. I know I got some youngins in here. No wine till you're 21. And definitely don't be overdoing the wine. Okay? But just a little red. Just a little red. Yeah, grape juice. Got some grape juice. Annette, you're right. I got some grape juice. This glass is from Ross. Y'all, I found the best stuff at Ross. I am definitely okay. I found the best stuff at Ross. So I think I got this for like $3 at Ross. And it has like little rhinestones in it and everything. So I promise all this little cutesy stuff, even the stuff you see behind me, I got it from Marshall Home Goods. I don't pay that much for nothing. Ever. People always think like I get all these great, wonderful things. Honestly, if I wasn't a vlogger and I didn't get so much like to either promote or do things, I wouldn't have half the stuff I have. I am such a simple girl. I love nice things, don't get me wrong, but I am very much money conscious and I'm very much, I take pride in getting things for not having to pay that much for them. I have a lot of, I think some people see me with luxury pieces. I have a few And you know what I'll do is I'll invest in things that um they get better with time. Like I have a few Louis Vuitton things and things like that. And I like good electronics, and I'm a stickler about my car. However, clothes and stuff like this, baby, I take pride. If I can pay $10 for it, I'm like, go ahead, okay? Praise the Lord. So, you know, I work hard for the money as a vlogger and a blogger. But even then, y'all, something I should tell y'all, and I think I'm going to do a live about this too. Even as far as sponsorships, I know y'all know I do sponsorships, but I tend to do sponsorships for the same types of company and the same types of people that I actually trust. I've turned down a lot of money, a lot of money. Mainly because I only do what I believe in. That's, you know, if I don't like it, y'all gonna know. Y'all know me too well. You know when I'm lying. I'm not gonna sit up on camera and just try to sell you something. Just nothing to do. If I don't like it, I ain't gonna do no review on it. And that's real. Yeah, well, look, y'all says this is gonna be an actual video. We're gonna get started in that. So this is going to be an actual video. So this live is going to be the real video. I have the questions that you guys sent in, plus I'll be answering some questions here. But I really appreciate those of you all that took time to send me in some questions today. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to try to get through as many of those as possible. So some of you all, yes, I do visit home. I visit St. Louis, and I will be home soon. Here's another thing. I'll be having some meetups. So y'all be on the lookout. It's a lot of stuff coming your way from Dr. Nina. A lot of stuff I ain't used to do, I'm finna start doing, huh? I've had too many of y'all. I bumped into so many people today that knew me from YouTube that was like, where you been? Where you? I know you go do your speaking stuff, and I know you do the videos, but we need for you to have a meetup or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we gonna be doing that. But y'all. So I want to start this video off by saying, first off, I love you all, and I share a lot with you guys because I know that there weren't a lot of things, especially when I was growing up, that I learned at an early age. I kind of learned because I was hard-headed. So put it this way. A lot of stuff I learned was because I wasn't fearful. It was hard to scare me. So people telling me not to leave home, not to do this, not to do that, it didn't really scare me. But I do realize that that's a different kind of spirit. You know, I'm not a shameful person. Never have been. My mama will tell y'all the same thing. So a lot of the things that I've learned in life have been me being able to bump my head, accept whatever comes from it, and pick it up and keep on moving. And I think that's why I've been successful. And not successful in just, and let me say this, degrees don't make you successful. That has never been my point on this channel, ever. But what does make you successful is your ability to work towards what you want, okay? Your ability to work towards what you want, stay the course, and ride it out. That's what a lot of people don't have. I think a lot of people can be smart. I think a lot of people could be great. But I think what set me apart in life is my diligence, my patience, and my willingness to be humble, have humility, and also being willing to stay the course, right? Hey, Ashley. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Arietta. I see some really pretty names in here. Hey, y'all. But I think that's what made me a little bit different. I didn't just seek for success. I didn't seek the pats on the back from friends and family. It's nice to get recognized. It definitely is. Hey, Miss White, thank you. It's nice to get the recognition. It's nice to get the accolades. Great things. But guys, I think it takes more than that for a person to keep going. It takes a lot more than that. And one thing y'all will never see me do is beg for anybody to pat me on the back. I do what I do because I love to do it. I do what I do because I love to do it. I share what I share because I love to share. Okay. And that's what I want, especially young girls, young men, to have that feeling as well. Stay in your lane and enjoy it. And guess what? As you do that, people will see what you about. You ain't got to scream it from the mountaintops. You ain't got to do none of that. That's why I say we not bragging. It's just fact. Who you are and what you are, people will always find out. I think sometimes people have misunderstood me in the past, thinking that I think I'm this, I think I'm that. But here's the thing. I do think I'm everything because I work hard for it, but not because you say it, not because he say it or she say it, but God say it, I say it, and my mama say it, and my bae love me too, baby. So I'm cold. I'm cold. And it's okay because I believe that other people are cold too. And I will give everybody their props. If they on top of their game, I give everybody their props. All my friends will tell you I celebrate them. I celebrate the things that come up in their life. Everybody ain't gonna be like me, and they don't have to be. Okay, they don't have to be. I don't want you to be just like me, but I do want you to have a sense of pride and love for yourself, and that is rare. That is rare. Okay. So I do want that. Yeah, that's all we want. We want everybody to have a level of confidence. Hey, Queen. Hey, Diva. It's Diva Hayes, Debate Hayes. I think that's right. It's a champagne life. Hold on, I like that. All right, pseudo chick. I like that. Yes. And so I think, yeah. Nobi, I've heard that I look like Janelle Monáe. I've heard that I look like Judge Lauren. I heard that I look like Kelly Rowland. I've heard a lot of people. The girl off She's Gotta Have It. I've heard I look like her. Lots of different people. But I really want y'all to know that that's what this video is about. That's what it's about. I don't ever want y'all to think that I just be wanting to floss my accomplishments. But here's the thing, even if I didn't say it, they still exist. That's what we got to realize in life. They still exist. So some people will be bothered by your success just because you're successful, not because you talk about it. So be very careful in understanding the message. The message here is to tell y'all to be successful at whatever you're going after. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for you. That's the only thing that's going to fulfill you in life. That's the only thing that's going to fulfill you in life. And here's the thing. And again, I keep saying it's not about degrees. I have friends that don't have one degree and they are happy in life. They are fulfilled. But you best believe I support them in anything that they do that is for their betterment and for their strength and for their mind and for their goals and towards their blessings. Okay. So you don't have to have what I had to be successful. But as long as you know what you got to do to stay in your lane and be successful, that's what this video is about. So go ahead and click like if you're enjoying the video so far. That's the only way that YouTube recognizes a video is worth the watch. So make sure y'all like the video for me, please. Okay. So Cassie has a really good question starting off. From a woman who's very focused on academic success, how would you advise one to make that transition into thinking of other things, businesses? Always, though, the PhD route was for me. Nah, I don't know. Always thought that. So here's the thing, y'all. I always tell students that I teach to diversify your life, diversify your portfolio. A lot of people are not successful in whatever they choose to do, so specifically education, because they have not thought about other things that they want for their lives. The way to be successful is to think about different things you're good at along the way. The books ain't going to be the thing that gets you there. The books ain't even the thing that gets you the job. So there are some things I want y'all to think about. So the way that I was successful and the way that I knew what path I was supposed to be on. So as y'all know, when I was in college and when I was in grad school is when I lost my weight. That was when I learned the investment in self. That's when I learned that what you look like, the world does judge you off of what you look like. I I gotta flat out put it out there. I couldn't tell y'all, I couldn't lie to y'all about that. I've said that in many videos. So in school, what I sought to do is to become my version of the complete package. Okay. So a big part of losing the weight, yes, was for health concerns, health reasons, issues, things like that. But what I learned is I was good at exercising and taking care of myself and figuring out what was good for me. That led to me knowing that I was pretty good at coaching people. So when people would ask me questions, I was able to explain it. I was able to express it. School was a great thing, but it was only something to get me to where I wanted to go. Let's be honest. In the field that I'm in, people listen to you when you got titles and degrees. The titles and degrees don't mean that much to me. It's great. It's great to have earned that, but it gave me the doorway into what I want to do. A lot of people get stuck on their education and academics because they haven't thought about what they do for them outside of earning a title. For me, it was the way to get people to listen to me. For me, it was the way for people to see that I'm able to set a goal and achieve it. I can't come here talking to y'all about setting goals and don't have nothing that I've completed. Okay. So education was just one of those things. I didn't do it to compete with nobody. Believe me, because that ain't going to keep you in no graduate program. It's not going to keep you earning a professional degree. But I did it so that I had a foot in the door. As you know, for people of color, for Black women too, more specifically, it's hard out here to get your foot in the door. And I didn't want no excuses as to why I didn't get everything I came for. So to answer your question, what I did was while I was earning my education, I learned things that I was great at, that I was good at, that were unique about me. And I learned how to pimp my education in order to use that to get the things that I wanted. Okay. I'm good lyrically. I'm good at educating people and teaching people. I never thought I would be a professor. I knew I wanted to be a psychologist. I did not know I was going to be a professor, but I knew that I was good at conveying messages and making sure those messages stuck. And what says a lot is now I've won so many teaching awards nationally that it lets you know that I follow through with that. Not because I just wanted to be a professor, but because I was thinking ahead. Okay. And that's what I want you young folk to do. When I say young folk, all of us that's seeking to do something, right? So all of us are young in some game. So I want you to think about what is the means to the end? What do you want out of your education? What do you want from what do you want your story to be? I used to think if they wrote my history in a history book, which they will, mock my words, what would that be? I don't want to be like anybody else. I don't want to be. So what does that PhD say to you? I think your name was Cassie, if I'm not mistaken. What does that PhD represent to you? What does that education represent to you? It can't just be a piece of paper. It can't just be a title because you're not going to be passionate about it. I wanted what I wanted because I knew it would get me to where I wanted to go in life, not just a piece of paper and not just a damn job. Let's be honest. I have to live this life for the rest of my life, and I have to be happy with it. So, what does that mean to you? Okay. So that's what I want y'all to know. So D, I think you got a good point here. I have a degree in education, but I only used it for 10 years. Switched to driving buses for 13 years. Got in a bad bus accident at work, and while on light duty, I created my after school program. D, and I love you. I absolutely love you. You've reached out to me before, and I've talked to you before. See, these are the kind of stories we need to see. Aya, thank you so much. Thank you so much. These are the types of stories we need to see, because here's the thing. A lot of times those degrees are not exactly what you'll end up doing. It's just not. You'll end up doing something else. Y'all, while y'all here, make sure y'all click the like button. Make sure you like the video for me. It's free of charge, but it helps your girl out because it makes sure that others see that YouTube recognize it as a video to watch. It costs you nothing to like the video. If you're enjoying yourself, just click like, leave a comment. Hey, thank you. Thank you for being here. But y'all, Cassie, hopefully that answered your question. But I just want you guys to know it's not about that. It's not about that. And that's what I think I've tried to say on YouTube for the years that I've been here on and off. Is that my accomplishments are not what make me. I think a lot of people are surprised, and you guys know that I have a lot of long time friendships. Long time. I have a friendship that has lasted me 30 plus years too. I've had friendships that have lasted me. Most of my friendships are not under 10 years old, or they're close to 10 years old. Most people will tell you, surprisingly so, I'm quite a girly girl. I'm quite laid back. I like chilling, watching TV, though I travel a lot. When I ain't traveling, I like to be, just kind of in my own zone. I go to church on Sundays. I'm a pretty cool chick. Like, this education stuff, that ain't who I am all day long. Not at all. My bae tell you that. I think a lot of men also expect that I'm going to be try to be in control of everything, try to, do it. I ain't that girl. He'll tell you in a minute. I don't like making many decisions. If he can make the decision, I'm happy with it. Make it. If we gonna eat something, you go tell me what we gonna eat, because I'll be all day telling you what we gonna eat. No, the education, I say all that to say the education don't make me, but it got me to where I wanted to be. That's how you have to think about your education. Pimp the degree. Don't let the degree pimp you. Okay? I'm just letting you know. But somebody said, Ryan here said, I got a degree in television production and I work as a clerk. I am in the process of going back to school to finish my master's degree in writing because I do have ideas for stories. That's excellent, Ryan. And I support that. I think you need to do what fulfills your life. We need to, show us that puppy. Here we go, Lord. Bella, you got some input for today. You gonna show the people you got some input. But y'all, I tell you is that, like you just said, you have to do what fulfills you. You have to do what you love. You have to figure out what's your means to the end. What do you want? I know eventually out of this life, see, I wasn't raised like many people. I was adopted by a single parent mother who chose to do it on her own. I was a late bloomer, so I really didn't even have boyfriends early in the game. I mean, now my eyes are on creating. I created, I feel like now, a strong situation where I can have a family now. I'm fine with that. And still, thank God I was raised the way that I am, because about half of my friends are married and have children. And eventually, within the next few years, I would say that's where my life is headed. But I feel like I'm prepared for that, right? I've done a lot of what I want to do. I feel like a lot of parents out here competing with their kids, and I don't want to compete with my kids. I've had the spotlight for years. And I want my babies to come in and my husband to come in and be able to bless them with the spotlight, have what they have, and enjoy them. So that was also the type of life I was trying to set up. I worked hard early, so I don't have to work hard later. And you can still do that. No matter what age you are, start now. Get it done. Knock out what you want to do. That was why I did it. Okay. Mahogany, you said, I feel like I wasted so much time. I'm 23 and still don't have a degree. I feel like I'm missing out watching all my friends graduate. I don't even know what I want to go, what I want to go to school for. Girl, you don't have to have it all figured out. Y'all need to stop trying to have it all figured out. Excuse me, you don't want to do that until you're ready for it anyway. That's another thing. I wish a lot of our older people before us told us that. You don't have to do everything because everybody else is doing it. I haven't, and here's the thing. I have friends who didn't go to school until late. I have friends that got married early that ended up getting divorces, that are on second marriages. I have friends that, did it like me, went to school early, and they're switching careers now because they're not quite happy with the one they did before. You have to pray about it. And you have to know what's best for you. If you keep trying to follow the tide of others or watching everybody, it's natural to watch people, but you can't think that that has to be your life too. You can't. I watch too many people do things outside of what I do. And I've had to learn from them what was good and what was bad for them, just like what's good and bad for me. Okay. So be careful with that. You all right. 23 is nice, young, and ripe. You still got much life to live. Um, Let me see. Y'all coming on through with all the words and everything. Let me see. Feel the same way as burnout training. Yes, Sean said it best. Follow your dreams. It's never too late. Mhm. Jay Pike, Dr. Nina, do you have any advice for those who got pimped by the degree? I'm 38, RN, has a bunch of student loans. What I would say in that case is try to find different things that you could be doing that possibly could earn you income, but at least along the way cost you nothing to help lighten the burden of thinking of that. Because as long as you think of it that way, then it's always going to seem like a burden. You're going to always feel like you're getting pimped because you're not doing anything fulfilling. And like I said, I tell people to do this during school too. I had to take out some student loans. It wasn't as much as many people, mainly because I had a McNair scholar. I was a McNair scholar. So that's something to look into if you're going to graduate school. McNair scholar. It paid for my master's and PhD. The only thing I really took out loans for was because I really didn't have a lot of the other student fees and things covered. But I like to think of it this way. Move up to where you want to be, but also think of the things you could be doing along the way that might make you some money that you enjoy doing. I know you feel like you got pimped, but you got something out of the deal too. And maybe you're not thinking in depth about what you got from it and how you can use it. Yes. See, Diane said it best. Jay Pike, find your niche in nursing. And not only that, find you some other things you can be doing. There's so many nurses out here that make body care products. Oh, baby, believe me, I know the lay of the land. They make body care products. They see things that patients need that are not on the market. They're making money from that. Hello. You could even create courses. I mean, people are creating courses now on how to be a great RN, on how to move through a nursing program. You know how many people would love that? There's so many things that you could be doing. And I think what happens is we get laser focused on just the job as opposed to what's outside the job. What drew us to it in the first place? Okay. People have asked, I'm seeing here, I hope they help. I hope they help. But people here are asking about where do you find scholarships? When I was in school, and I know some of these are still the same, FastWeb, that was excellent. Also pinpoint the school in which you want to go to. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of those scholarships are very quiet and a lot of people do not apply to them. So a lot of the scholarships that I got, y'all, believe it or not, were basically because I breathe. Like it was like single mother scholarship, like not because I was a single mother, but because my mother was. Or I think I got one for like outstanding minority achievement. And it was because I had over a 3.2 and I applied for that. Okay. Hey Gina, distraction, y'all. One of my best friends from 7th grade. Done known her since 7th grade. Hey Gina. But I know that one was a good one. So there's always these hidden gems. And a lot of people do not look at the websites of the schools they want to attend. Those universities actually offer a lot of scholarships. Not only that, like I said, FastWeb. FastWeb is excellent because it looks at hits across the US. It looks at different types of things. And even if FastWeb doesn't have everything you're looking for, it gives you ideas. You put in your name, your age, all of that, and they give you qualifiers. Things that are out there that maybe you can look into or have that might work for you. I was also a McNair scholar. So that's something you can become a part of while you're in undergrad. McNair's a trio program. If you look into trio programs also pay for a lot. And if you're a high school student, you might want to look at some of the college prep things. So a lot of universities offer like a scholarship for those who come in and complete a summer program before school starts. So what they'll put you in is like a remedial course. That's what I did. They put me in like a remedial algebra course before school started. And I got a 4-year scholarship out of it. And it paid like partial amounts of tuition, plus it paid like for my books. So there's so many things out there, y'all. The thing is, we do not exhaust what's out there. You have to really, really look and see what's out there. And my mom didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it. But what we did was just kind of sat and looked through what was out there. And that was it. Yes, Spirit, it's a lot of stuff out there. I got scholarships in grad school. People were like, how did you find that? Well, it was on the graduate website, or it was on the undergraduate website. Nobody applied for it. So if I was the only one who applied for it, guess who's getting the money? Me. All right, brother. Tell Dr. Nina I said hi. So somebody asked if I mentor. Guys, I have a mentorship membership coming soon. I don't know if everyone knows. I know I have a lot of new subscribers. What's crazy is, y'all, we got to celebrate. God has blessed, because in the last month, I've gained like 25,000 new subscribers or more. Y'all just came out the woods. I don't know, all of y'all telling your friends about me or whatever. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I know a lot of you guys are new, but soon I'll start promoting that. So you'll probably see ads for it and everything. That's going to launch later in the fall. It's going to be a mentorship membership. It's going to be a low price monthly membership. And it's going to be where you can get, no. Woo, Lord, take that out. Brother Danubian, we no, don't speak that into the earth. No, thank you. We don't work too hard for this. We don't work too hard. But I was gonna say, this low price monthly mentorship membership is going to be all focused on all kinds of things. It's not going to be just one thing in there. This membership is going to be exhaustive. I'm going to have ways for you all to access my information. I'm going to have my curriculum vitae in there, so you guys see how to write up a curriculum vitae. I'm going to have stuff in there on, how to land jobs that you want. I'm also going to have all my normal like YouTube stuff, so you can easily navigate. I'm going to have like messages to you guys that are a part of the membership. There's going to be a monthly or bi-monthly conference to everyone who's a member. And there's also going to be monthly office hours. So there's going to be ways for you to access me beyond things like this. So you will have exclusive access to me. And look, that's how I'm making shmoney. You got to find ways to take these degrees and make them work for you. That's what you do. You do not have to be broke with a degree out here. You just don't. And you don't have to be broke without a degree. Let me say that. So you just have to think of those things. So that's what's coming up. How do you apply for the degree, the McNair Scholar? Check with if you know the school you're going to, or if you're at the school, the Office of Multicultural Affairs or the Graduate College usually have information on the McNair program. They don't have information specifically on McNair. Ask them about TRIO programs, TRIO, TRIO programs. Okay. Oh, my shirt. I got this from Burlington. It says Queens, and it has all these girls on it. And I like that the little middle girl's chocolate like me, and then we got them all across the colors, all different shades. Um, so yeah. Yes, you're welcome, Taryn. You're welcome. You're welcome all. I hope you all will try out the trio programs. They were amazing for me. If it wasn't for McNair, I probably wouldn't be Dr. Nina. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be. I really didn't know my potential. The other thing was McNair put you in courses to learn how to take your test for graduate school, because you know a lot of graduate schools require that you take GREs, LSATs if you go into law school, MCAT if you go into med school. So they actually train you for all of that. They did all of that, y'all. Um, Really cool stuff. They took me on conferences. I got my first publication, academic publication through them. I actually learned how to present at different conferences. Um, just a lot of great and awesome things came out of McNair. So definitely something you want to consider. Definitely. Uh, yes, Taryn, I got this while I was an undergrad. I sure did. I got it while I was in undergrad. Yay, animated. I'm so happy you made it. I'm so happy you made it. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go get my energy plug in a second because sister gonna run out of juice in a minute. I don't even know how I did that. How I came up in here without that plug. Um but no, yeah. Queen has the idea here. The library also has information about scholarships. So bookstores and things like that. So make sure that you check those out because they do and they will help you sort through the crap. They will help you. A lot of librarians, that's what they're there for too, is to help assist. And what happens is we're not exhausting all of the resources that are out there for us. So make sure that you look at all resources that are there for you because there's so much out there. And that's what I had to do. Y'all, my mama ain't had no money to send me to school. None. None. She had Jesus and she had prayers. But here, God tells you all the time, you got to put in the work. You can't just be praying. You got to go do the work. So we had to go looking and figure out and find. Bella, you gonna dig a hole in the carpet? What are you doing? Okay. um, but Adorn, you asked, and I think a lot of people have this kind of question. Um, how do I start bringing my ideas to life? I have so many ideas and I don't know what to do with them. The thing about ideas is we have to materialize them. I always write down my ideas in a notebook. Always just list them out. Then you prioritize. You figure out which ones are realistic and which ones are not. Which ones are the most pertinent and which ones are not. Which ones are the most doable and which ones are not. I like to start with the most realistic, the easiest one. The reason being is because you want to set yourself up for success. If you do one thing first that you succeed at, you're more likely to move on to the harder things. A lot of times we set ourselves up for failure because we do the harder thing first, we don't complete it, and we never go back to anything else. So you want to start from square one, doing the thing that's the easiest. Move from there and down your list. A lot of times when you accomplish about 3 of those goals, you're going to know where to go after that. So some of those other goals will become null and void, but the ones that really matter will stick out to you and you'll complete them. Okay. So, thank you, Miss White. Yes, make sure you like the video, y'all. It's free of charge for you, but it makes sure that others get to see the information and YouTube is more likely to promote the video. Doesn't take you anything to like the video. Just like it. If you're enjoying it, like it, please. I want to make sure I get to some of the questions you guys asked. 1 second. I'm going to go get my computer plug first. I'll be right back, y'all. Oh, y'all, I was out here with no computer juice. We was about to die. Not for real, but I'm back. We got the juice. Okay. And the other juice, the grape juice. Um, let's see. You didn't miss too much, but you can definitely watch it soon. It's going to be posted. So let me see. I want to answer some of the questions y'all posted. How about that? So some of the questions you guys posted. So someone said the top question, they got a lot of likes. Any post grad advice for young women? Mhm. Like finances or life advice at all? Thank you. I love your channel. Okay. Woo. This one is huge. I would say, first off, for those of you all graduating or knowing you're coming up on graduation, because I would say the average person that watches me is ages 21 to about, well, 18 to about 34 is the biggest group of watchers, viewers that I have. So I probably have a lot of people that are close to coming up on the end of college, or those even just thinking about the end of college. So let me say this. As you come out of college, know that real life is real life. Um, and this applies to anyone, I think, any walk of life. One thing that I would tell you to do is to make sure you kind of write out what are your goals? What do you want for your life? I think the biggest mistake a lot of us make is getting to that milestone and then saying, what do I do next? While you have time before you reach a milestone, I'm not saying worry yourself about what's next, but I would say just kind of decide on what you want next for you. And look, I see some of y'all over here talking about y'all old and fine. Y'all ain't old. Stop doing it. But anybody, any age, I think it's always good to decide on what you want for your life next. That way you can focus on it. It can become real for you. What I think a lot of young women don't do is think about the what's next. And then they end up being influenced by this world. This is what I'm saying. I see a lot of young girls that want to leave school. I've had girls come to me and say, well, I just want to be an influencer because everybody being influencers. And I'm like, so if everybody's being an influencer, what's going to make you different? And I'm not saying you would be a bad influencer. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, what's going to make you different? What's important to you? Why do you want to be an influencer? Why is this such a big deal for you? And I don't think they've even thought about that. They just thought about what everybody else is doing. They're not really thinking about what's going to be good for their life and what's not. And when you do that, you live in life flying by the what is it, the seat of your pants? And none of us really want that. None of us really want that, because that leads you into disasterville. That leads you into disaster men, disaster relationships, disaster friendships, disaster connections, disaster jobs, all of it. Okay. So you got to kind of have your head in the game and know that your plan might not go out as well as you, not as well, but just like you planned it to. But at least you have a thought in mind, so nobody can really throw you off track easily. I think a lot of young women get thrown off easily. Their story ends up getting written by someone else. The power I was telling y'all about was not in the fact that I have so many degrees. No. The power was in the fact that I made a plan and I stuck to it. Thank God I didn't meet the end of some of the people I knew. I listened to other people and what they went through, and I decided I didn't want to go through those things. I had a job in mind. I had a career path in mind. And to be honest, being a professor first was not my original career plan, but it got me to where I wanted to go. You see what I'm saying? So I started to think of other things along the way that were on the path, but maybe a slight detour. So I think what a lot of young women don't do is think about their path. And even if your path is to be a mother and a wife and a mother, you still need to be thinking about it. You need to have a game plan, because you don't want to walk about the school or wherever you coming from and marry any old person. You just don't want to. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. So you definitely want to have a goal and a plan and have several options, A, B, and C, and maybe even a D plan. But if they don't work out, and that's one of the biggest things I tell women. Also, start saving as soon as you can. I hate when I hear people say they have nothing to save. You want to know why? You're probably living beyond your means and or not making efforts to plan for the money that you have. I'm going to tell you something. When I was in graduate school, I worked almost 3 to 4 jobs at a time. I didn't have anybody sending me money. I think people assume that when you make it to a certain level, you always had people that could pay for you and could do things for you. No, I never had that. So I had to always make a plan for the money that I had and for the money that I didn't have. And so I never spent beyond my means. One of the first things I paid for, I learned this early, you always pay for the roof over your head. Almost every financial advisor will tell you that. You pay for where you live first. I still do that. Where I live first is paid for first. Okay. So you so you definitely need to do that. Outside of that, I didn't really have a lot. When I say I didn't have a lot, I only went with necessities, and I went with things that would make me better. So I didn't eat out a lot. I had a gym membership. That had me forego a lot of fun that had to be had with friends. A lot of programs that was going on. I couldn't participate. So you have to prioritize. And when I say save, even saving $50 a month is something. I think we have to go all above and beyond. $50 a month is saving. It's still something. It's still something. It's better than saving nothing. That's what I'm saying. And I think when the faster you get that in your head as a young woman, the faster you'll start to see your goals come to fruition. And also just, I know for me, keeping God or your spiritual part of you first. If you have nothing to believe in and you're aimless, you will feel limited. Your confidence will be low. And research proves that. So that's just not me saying that. That's research. So you have to have something that you believe in along the way. And if you don't, you will feel limited. You will feel like you can't achieve the things that you want. You will feel like you cannot prioritize. You feel like that you cannot focus. I would also say, if I was talking to my younger self, you also want to make sure that you invest in therapy. Y'all hear me? Did you hear what I just said? Invest in therapy. Some of y'all, and I've sat and talked with students, I've sat and talked with people that said they broke before. Some of y'all have therapy services available to you at university service centers. Even if you don't go to college, y'all, did you know that a lot of universities offer low-cost services? And when I say low cost, I know a university right now that does counseling sessions for like $10 a session for people that don't go to the university. Now, if you can spend $10 on that Popeye's chicken sandwich, so if you can spend that, then you can go and get your mind right. Now, I'm going to tell you why. especially people of color, we have a lot of things fighting us daily. And so we're not really taking care of ourselves. At Stephen F. Austin State University, I'll tell you right now, they got counseling services for like $10. It's a lot of universities that do stuff like that. I would call around your area and ask if there's a counseling service or an on-campus counseling program. Usually what happens is there's students learning to be counselors. They're just as good. And they do low-cost services. So call your universities. You usually can get in there and get somebody to see you. And so the thing, so I'm sorry, y'all. I know everybody didn't have a Popeye's chicken sandwich. I'm just saying, a lot of times we're spending money on things we don't need to spend them on and foregoing things that we need. So therapy changed my life. I started therapy way back in the day. I actually went to therapy before I started losing weight. And what I found out is I was weighed down by a lot of other things that were causing the pounds to pack on. Okay. Feeling responsible for everybody, feeling like I had to do this, I had to do that, I had to be here, I had to be there. And I had to learn to put myself first. And some people saw it as selfish. But guess what? I'm 35, honey. And I'm proud of it. I think you definitely have to learn to put yourself first. Take care of yourself so you live a nice long life and you can be focused on the things you want for your life. That's even if you have children, even if you have a husband, even if you have a wife, because I know I have guys that watch too. You still need to take care of yourself. You cannot do anything for anyone else unless you are taking care of yourself. And that was something that I think too, that has been a thing that kept me from the family part too. I know I can now give that to other people. I had to get to the point where I was giving to myself and knew how to give to myself. I'm a very kind person and used to forego my own needs for the needs of others. I realize now that's for the birds. And even when it comes to this career and getting out of school, all of you that are doing that, you need to start early. And I wish I had learned that a little bit earlier. Take care of you and be okay with that. Be okay with that. People ain't going to die because you're going to take 30 minutes to work out. And if they're going to die, then they're going to die even if you don't take that 30 minutes to work out. That's how you got to look at it. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Those are some of the things that I would have told my younger self. And then with financial stability, just starting to, and someone said it here, pay yourself. I would pay for my living space and then find out what from your money every month you can put away and be consistent with that. Even when I was in grad school, every month I put away like $200. $200. And I know some of y'all like, that's a lot of money when you're in school, but think about the things you might be spending your money on. Some things I had to stop spending my money on. I couldn't spend it on that no more. And I went down, instead of getting like the phones that was real hot when I was in school, I got the free phones. Get those for a while till you can afford to get the really nice phones. Okay. Do some other stuff with your money. Save your money. Get your capital together. So when you leave school, you have something to stand on. Okay. So I hope that makes sense, guys. You gotta learn how to take care of yourself. You gotta learn what's important in life. Oh Lord, Shanice, these people suing Popeye's chicken because they ain't got the sandwich no more. Yes. Thank you, Nobi. Yes. And I said that making sure that your life is right with God or your spiritual being, because I know we got differences here. But make sure that y'all got that going. Otherwise, you're not gonna do well. You're not gonna understand yourself and what you need. Something else I would say is don't be so thirsty. I'm just gonna be real in here, okay? I hope y'all will be okay with me being thirsty. Um, don't be so thirsty. I think what I'm seeing nowadays is so many people, and I understand that some of our homes are lacking in love. And so we want these relationships. And I've been there too. I'm not talking down to you. I'm not talking down to people. I'm saying don't be, because a lot of these people that's throwing you off your path are not worth it. They're not going to help you to get to the next point. And so, what I'm telling you to do too, when I say thirsty, is not just in romantic relationships. Just stop being so thirsty for the attention and the um, approval of others, because it will throw you off your path and keep you from reaching where you need to reach quicker. Okay. Um, and I've done that. I've done that. Um, I'm so thankful, and I told you guys now. Um, I'm so thankful for the way he has protected me, the way he has taught me so much. Um, Even now, in the relationship that I'm in now, and I thank God for it. I feel like I've been found by, because I was in a good space, been found by a person who's um a great person all around. And I couldn't have asked God for more, but I had to be in a place to be able to hear and to be able to see and to be able to love. And I had to let go of mess, distractions. So we have to be very careful about that in our lives, because it can prevent you from reaching to your next goal. Okay. And I'm happy, baby. My boo is a mechanical engineer with an MBA. He is a smart man. I probably wouldn't admit it, but probably smarter than me. But it's okay. He's smart. And very loving and very kind. And so I had to be in the right place for that to happen. Um, and so, yeah, I want to say that even back then, just even a few years ago, I wasn't ready for that. And so that's another thing, is we have to spend time preparing ourselves. We say we want good men and we want good relationships and we want good friendships. What are you? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for what God can pour into your life? Are you ready for those things? So that's another thing I would tell my young self. Um, I was gonna say, what else? Where I meet him. Girl, that's a long story. There's a podcast coming. We doing a podcast together, so y'all gonna learn a lot about him. Mhm. Y'all gonna learn a lot about him. Zena, yes, I had to prepare myself for him. And that meant letting go of a lot of stuff. You hear me? Letting go. So I suggested get yourself in therapy, let go. Because God can't put nothing in there if you ain't letting go of the stuff you need to let go of. Something I was gonna say. Somebody said, "What do I feel about multiple streams of income?" And this is one of the big questions that was on that list. So I've already talked about the paying for school. So I've already knocked that out. I've already talked about what would I tell my younger self, and what would I tell young women graduating from school or even graduating from high school. Now a lot of the questions went into multiple streams of income. I feel like they are necessary. Yes, necessary. But find streams of income that help you work for self as well. So, excuse me, multiple streams of income can be many different things. So, someone said here that they feel like their degree pimps them and they are RN. Honey, as an RN, you got so many things you could be doing. So whether it's starting just a social media business that talks about different things within nursing, talks about different medical things, things that you see within your job, teaching and training people how to be, how to get into nursing programs, how to do well in nursing programs. I think you have so many ideas. So that's just an idea there. But I think that they are necessary because, guys, in my head, I feel like you never know what can happen in life, right? Nothing's guaranteed. Jobs aren't even guaranteed. Um, People around you aren't guaranteed. Um, I've seen friends of mine be married, and yes, you enter a marriage believing it will be forever. And I've had friends that have had to end marriages, and they didn't really know how they were going to have, monetary comfort. And one thing I think I learned from those things is it's always important to have different things coming in that will help you sustain yourself, at least until you find another way of making money, another major way of making money. Um, so I would say, I definitely think that while in school, try to think of side hustles. For me, my side hustle was braiding hair. I told y'all that I could braid some hair. I don't really braid hair no more. These nails really don't let me braid hair. I braided my mother's hair, but braiding hair was my thing. Some weeks I made almost $1,000 braiding hair. Yes. While I was in school. I also worked for a telemarketing company. It wasn't telemarketing. It was like you do like the questionnaires for the companies after people like rented a car. So it was like enterprise. And then you like call them and ask them how they like the car. It was just as annoying as telemarketing, but it made money. Okay. I have worked at Abercrombie and Fitch. I worked at McDonald's for 7 years. I did, I worked at a children's hospital in registration. That was fun and it made good money. So if you're ever looking for a side hustle, go to hospitals and look for PRN jobs. PRN. So usually what they do with PRN jobs is, you get paid a higher hourly salary. And you basically come in when people are not coming in. So people would call off all the time. I could basically have all those shifts. Some of them were overnight. Some of them were during the day. Some were on the weekend. So when I would come home from school, like to St. Louis, I always had a job at the hospital because people weren't coming in to work. I was fine with them not coming in to work, so I got paid. So I had that job. When I was in graduate school, I also taught. So I taught as a adjunct faculty for a a low level or a basic level psychology course. So that was another thing. I don't know what's happening with this coloring on here, y'all. I'm sorry. And then I also had, what else did I have? What other jobs did I have? I had a lot of jobs. I can't even think, y'all. But McDonald's was definitely the longest standing job that I had. And I enjoyed it. But I think all of these things, you have to think ahead and think of what you want to do. I even have friends that bartended. They made good money bartending. I had friends who did lots of stuff. I was the one that had several jobs at one time. I just never liked being broke. I just never knew who was going to ask me for something. And that was a whole nother problem in itself, because I shouldn't have had other people depending on me so much. But I did sometimes. So that was another thing. But there's so many things that you could be doing. I think y'all still asking me how I met my babe. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question on multiple streams of income. I believe in them. I think you need them. I think there's really many different ways that you can learn and you can figure out different things you can do. You cannot have too much pride when it comes to multiple streams of income. Baby, if it makes checks, and I ain't talking about everything, y'all. Let me take that back. But if it makes checks and you keeping your dignity, Don't think it's too good for you because I've worked every job and I sit here before you, Dr. Nina, and I have worked a lot of different jobs. That's how now, YouTube is a source of income. My sponsorships are a source of income. Amazon store. And y'all, the whole membership mentorship program is going to also teach you how I started to make money through YouTube. I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to do everything. That membership going to be lit. It's going to be lit. I cannot wait for y'all to see it. It's being built right now. Huge investment on my end. So I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it. But as far as now love. So I think I answered that question. I've talked about the multiple streams of income, how I feel about it. Always be on the lookout for multiple streams of income. You should always pride yourself in finding different ways to not just hustle, because I don't think everything has to be a hustle. My job I have now does not wear me out. I'm not stressed from my job. I mean, I have a lot to do, but it's not because of my job. Okay. Find you some things to do that will give you some levels of comfort in life, that will afford you to be able to work out and take care of yourself, that will give you health insurance, that you can go to therapy, that you can take care of yourself. And those are the biggest things. Okay. How did I get my Amazon store? It was because of my following on YouTube. Y'all know, do y'all know who just approached me? And I'm going to share this with y'all. So you might see me work with them. Of all people that reached out to me, Fashion Nova reached out to me. I had never worn anything Fashion Nova at all. But I know that they have really been trying to extend the type of clothing that they have. And it was interesting because when they reached out to me, their salutation was, "Hi, Dr. Nina." I was like, y'all, okay, go ahead. So I don't tell everybody I work with, but take your opportunities and make them work for you. And also don't sell yourself short. As you get into all of this, make sure you don't sell yourself short. Know who you are in the game. Don't let people play you. Okay, you tell them Dr. Nina said that. Don't let people play you. They will try to. Do not let people play you. Okay. You said, okay, bye. Cassie said, okay, bye. But look, hey. It's okay, Cassie. It's okay. We'll find a way. We're going to find a way to make it cute. But something I was going to say, how did I prepare myself for this next phase in life? So, y'all, life. I've told you guys everything that you wanted to know about the schooling, how to make money for school, how to make money in school, how to get multiple streams of income, which we're going to do another video on next. I want to talk to you guys about sponsorships. I want to talk to you guys about building your other multiple sources of income. I think that's a whole nother video because I can go on that for days, on hustles and things you can be doing to prepare yourself. But let me also talk about this. How did I prepare myself to be in a much better and healthy place in terms of being ready for a relationship? I think that this is something that comes up often. I can say that I did not expect to be in a relationship right now. I think I wanted that opportunity, but didn't know. And y'all don't know what my camera is doing, but there you go. I don't think I expected to be in a relationship right now. But it says a lot about my growth, and it says a lot about how I've changed in life. Because Emeralds, you just brought it up the best. Getting toxic people out of your life. That was a big problem I had. And I think that's the only reason why I've been able to find so much positive support in the recent years of my life. I was constantly focused on trying to fix the, I am Yada. I'm going to be having that coming up soon. So probably in October. So just to let you know, most likely in October. Um, but I had to really start to focus on what I was doing to keep those people in my life and why I needed them in my life. I think one thing that we don't do is evaluate our reason for having these trash people in our lives. And I'm just gonna say it: trash, trash. Um, I found out that I really had the need sometimes to take care of people and make sure they were taking care of themselves. Even if they weren't worried about me taking care of myself, somehow I found that if they needed me for something, I was going to be there for them. And what I found was that wasn't healthy, that wasn't good for me, that was not sustaining me, that was not fulfilling my life. And I had to let it go. I had to let go of the trash. One thing that I feel like, especially young women of color and specifically Black women, we don't know how to let go of trash. We just don't. Uh, for some reason in this community, we are taught to nurture the trash, help the trash become not trash. But think about it: when you throw out garbage, do you go through every piece of garbage and decide what needs to be kept in the house before you throw it away? No, you throw it away. And I had to realize that some people, I'm not just going to say people, but things too had to be thrown away. And that included people that made me uncomfortable in my space, people that did not value my being, people that had a problem with me. And y'all get this: I also had people in my life that just straight up didn't like me. Like, just straight up did not like me. It was clear and apparent, but somehow I missed the memo. Just did not like me. Jealous of everything I was doing. And that's another thing. We got to stop trying to play this game where we be like, well, and this was me, y'all. I'm talking about me, okay? I used to be one of them people that's like, I don't think they're jealous. I just think maybe they get upset when, people talk about the things I do. What else do you call that? We need to start calling a zebra and a horse a horse. That's another thing. We don't own stuff because we don't like to talk about it in realistic terms. That's jealousy, y'all. That's jealousy. That's it. That's it. And it's normal for people to get jealous. It's what they do with that jealousy. They trying to pull your life down, make you feel bad because of their shortcomings, or treat you a certain way. They jealous and they need to be gone. If they're chronically jealous, they're dangerous. Okay? They're dangerous because what's going to happen is they're going to start to eat away at your life. When they eat away at your life, then you're going to feel hopeless. You're going to feel down, and they're going to pull at you until there's nothing left to pull out. That's it. Point blank, period, end of discussion. How did I start getting rid of jealous people? How did I start getting rid of toxic people? I started thinking with this mentality. Some of y'all gonna get mad. I really don't care. Them or it's me. It's them or it's me. In the wild, when you look out in the wild, for everything from dogs to lizards to bugs, they think this way. And that's the circle of life. Is them or it's me. We can play that game where we like, oh, I just want everybody to do. If somebody means you harm, why would you continue to entertain that? Why? If you have no reason to, why? Just stop it. Just give it up and realize what it is. And I remember sitting with my therapist one particular time talking about like reasoning why, I don't just want to throw people away, and I just don't. And she said, but that's BS. And she said the words. So if they can throw you away when you don't do something you want them to do, when you don't do something they want you to do, how come it is that you don't throw them away when they're never grateful for anything you do? And that made me think, hold on. I need to throw some trash away. I need to throw away some trash. And you know what, y'all? I had to back away from a lot of stuff. I had to give myself the space and the time to understand what it is to let go of things that are unhealthy in your life. I had to rebuild and really cling to my relationship with God and with myself. Again, I had to renew that and be okay with that. And as people left, and as not because people left, but because I threw out the trash. When I threw out trash, I realized that I became lighter. I became freer. I felt better. There was no more of the, arguments. There was no more of the trying to figure out. There was no more of the sleepless nights. There was no more of the, I just never felt better. Just felt, never thought clearer. Y'all, I was like clicking my heels, walking into work, everything was good. Do you hear me? And so I had to really learn that it's okay to let go of things. It's okay to build boundaries too. What I was finding is some people would get mad at me because of the boundaries I was creating in my life. And I had to do that. Mahogany, you exactly right. Your first line here, I think it starts with trash family members. Yes, some of the biggest trash is in our very own families. Some of the trash that you need to let go of is your family. And some people will use that against you. They will say, well, I'm your family. I'm the one who love you. I'm the one who's here for you. But you're also the one who keeping me sick. You also the one that's keeping me down. You're also the one not watching my back. You're also the one spreading rumors and lies about me. You're trash. And I have to throw you out. And you don't have to, here's the thing. You don't need to go around telling people they trash and you're going to throw them out. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying find the way to build the boundary, back yourself away from the situation slowly. You can be kind, but you do not have to be all up in them. You can be real nice, but they going in the garbage. And some people redeem themselves from the garbage. Somehow they go to the landfill and they walk back and they're better. They've gotten themselves together because they realize that being out in the trash is not good for them. But even them, you got to watch them. Because sometimes old trash still halfway disgusting. So I think you are soiled. So you have to start now with thinking about it's them or it's you. And in that question, in that statement, you have to realize what's most important. If you don't move, nothing else moves. So you can continue to choose other people, but that's not going to be good for your well-being at all. You can't do anything if you don't have you. They can if they have you, but you can't do anything if you don't have you. And especially us as Black women and women. And look, I'm going to say all of us. I can be inclusive, but I'm also going to say as a Black woman, what I realized too is specifically, we have not been taught that. And we need to start teaching that to each other. And we have to stick with it. We have to stick with it. I'm going to tell y'all, I've had trash that looked beautiful. When I say trash that looked beautiful, it looked appealing. It looked amazing. It looked great. All trash don't look like trash. But if it keep acting like trash, it is trash. And you need to throw it away. I'm sure you've thrown away a clean piece of paper before. It still served no purpose. That's what I'm saying. So make sure that you're really, really looking at your inventory. I had to do it. And sometimes I think almost quote unquote being what's considered successful, people put that on you even more because they're like, oh, you can handle this. It got to a point where some people, a lot of my best friends did care, but some people didn't even care about how I was doing. They was asking me for stuff before they even asked how I'm doing. I need you to, okay, I'm fine. Thank you. Oh, she okay. She got it. No, I really don't, but okay. And you got to realize that those types of situations are not good for you. And in that, what I'm saying is I had to get rid of all of that to prepare myself for all the great things in my life. And now I can say that I've been so heavily blessed to have some of the greatest things happen to me within just the past year. Just the past year. Like, so many blessings, so many great things. And I know that it came from, again, reprioritizing my life, getting rid of the things that no longer needed to be there. A real friend said, how did you find your soul purpose in life? And I think I kind of talked about this at the beginning of the live, but I think it was by actually being by myself. Um, I think that's another thing that we are not taught, is to learn to be by ourselves and be okay with being alone. And I had to learn from my being alone, my being by myself, my researching myself, learning what I didn't like about myself and what I did and what that looked like. And once I did that, it was easy for me to know what was my purpose. I had quieted everybody else. I let go of feeling like I had to please everybody, and I let go of making people think that their opinions mattered so much in my life. I had to create my own way. And I think you only do that when you become comfortable with yourself. Okay. Do I have any tips on finding a therapist that works well for you? Um, First off, a lot of therapists have reviews online. So check out their reviews. Look up therapists near me. I know that sounds weird, but go ahead and Google it. Look up those things. See what kind of reviews are out there on the person. Call the person or look at their bio and see what type of therapeutic services they offer and see if those are any things that you need for yourself. I will also tell you guys this: therapy takes a while, it's a process. You're not going to solve major issues in even 5 to 10 sessions. You need some time. You're learning the therapist, they're learning you, and you need the proper time to figure out, hey, this person is really getting where I'm going, or they need to know, do I understand this person? Am I getting where they're going? Am I understanding the way they convey their message or the way they communicate? So all of that is important. So keep that in mind when finding a therapist, is that you'll want to look at reviews. You'll want to find out what kind of therapy they render and what's important to them. But then you also want to focus on the time that you spend with him, and don't be too short on the time initially. Okay. Nobi, you wrote a poem. Oh Lord. Oh, Emeralds, I want to answer this before we leave. Emeralds asked me, but what if they judge you? If people judge you? If they judge you, you have to realize that what happens is when you take something away from someone, the first thing they do is throw a tantrum. When you take something away from someone that they never thought would be taken away, they have a tantrum. Try it with a baby. If you take away a baby's toy, even an animal, you take away their toy and they thought that they had it forever to play with, they throw a fit. But a fit only lasts so long. Even if you take something away from a baby, they eventually stop crying. So you know that with the person that starts judging you because you've decided to separate yourself, eventually the judgment stops. They're going to have a fit because you're doing something or taking something away from them that they thought would never be taken away from them. And you would do the same thing. It's human nature. But realize that you got to be strong through that time. Giving it back to them will not make the situation better. It only makes you weaker, and it gives them the strength in knowing that all they have to do is have a fit in order to get back what you took away. So that's what you think about when somebody tries to judge you. Okay. Whew. So I hope you guys had a good time today. I talked about everything. I think I am going to do a video on pledging because a lot of people have asked me about that, or joining a Greek letter organization. Because I've done videos on that in the past, but I get a lot of questions on it. And y'all, I done got something on my face. I don't know what that is. But I'm definitely going to talk to you guys about that, I'm going to talk about good books that I think everyone should read. Uh, Daring Greatly is my favorite book. Daring Greatly. Um, that one. Marry Him. Even if you're not looking to get married, I think it's a really good book. Marry Him is a great book. D, you want to know how I met the boo? So here we go. So basically, a friend of mine, a best friend of mine, who just had a baby, might I add, she just had her first little boy. Um, we've been best friends for almost 30 years. She met her husband on Tinder. Yes, Tinder. But when she did it, she had this thing where she prayed. She treated it just like any other kind of dating. And she kept her head in, I'm not going to go for anything I don't want. And I'm not going to go for anything that's not for me. And she was straight up and honest and genuine. And they got married and they just had their first baby. So they got married and they had a baby. She got pregnant a year later and she just had her baby. So they've been married almost 2 years. So she was like, "You need to get on Tinder." And I was like, "Oh no." I'm not gonna tell y'all the whole story. But basically, I did. And he happened to be in town for work. Um, he works for a steel company and he does the contracting, their larger contracts for the steel that they take in. Like I said, he's a mechanical engineer with an MBA. So he does all the business side and understands the engineering side. And so he was here in town, just so happened. And I was on and off Tinder in 2 days. Two. 2 days. It was overwhelming. It was crazy. There was actually a guy I was supposed to go on a date with outside of him, and I ended up calling the date off because I talked to him on the phone. And I told God this in the beginning. I said, "God, if it ain't for me, take it out of my life." And my best friend told me that. She said, "You pray that prayer, and God got you. You ready?" Did it. And yeah. No. I went on that one date. And ever since then, that was so coming up next week. That's why he's coming. He lives in Chicago right now, but that's soon changing. So he'll be here next week because we celebrate 1 year. We celebrate 1 year. So y'all didn't even know I was in a whole, some people didn't even know I was in a whole new relationship. But I was actually single for like 4 months, or more. And I was quiet about it. So when y'all found out I was single, I had already started dating him. So it was about it was about 4 or 5 months later. So yeah. Daring Greatly was the first book. Daring Greatly. Um but he's a great guy. And um just I mean I don't know, like has the all the great things, the protect and the provider mind. He is definitely a man's man. He likes to take care of himself. He likes to do things. He has good friends. Um, he's, I don't know, just a good guy. He even officially asked me to be his girlfriend. When he asked me, he made a big deal out of it. Bought flowers and made it very official, did it in front of my mama, everything. Yes, Brene Brown is the author. Um, but yeah, it was just great. So it's been really, really good. Really good. He's he spent Christmas and New Year's with me and my mom. I spent Thanksgiving with his family. Um, and definitely see marriage. Definitely see marriage. We talk openly about that. Um, so it's been a really interesting situation because I didn't expect it. So I didn't expect it, but he's been really great for my life. Um, haven't had to feel like I was compromising who I am. Um, so I just feel like it's just a good fit. We both goofy, we both silly. And I feel very, very not just comfortable, but eerily, like we were saying the other day, like he was telling me I'm his best friend. I'm his best friend too, that he happens to be in love with. And I feel like he's my best friend that I happen to be in love with. So it makes it even easier. Yeah. So it makes it really easier. So when he comes next week, we're actually going to do a podcast. I'm not going to show him or anything yet. That's going to be no, not yet. But definitely, and I probably won't show him until some other things occur. But I definitely do want to do like a podcast with him to talk about what that situation was like. And it was very unexpected, I think, for both of us. But yeah. So, Tahani just asked, what do I think of dating someone 10 years older? You got to be careful with that because sometimes they can backfire. And I've seen people that's backfired with, not because they're 10 years older, but because there might be differences in interests, differences in lifestyle, and differences in expectations. Sorry, y'all. So just be careful with that. Fill out the person. I won't say that anyone like that won't work out, but you just want to be careful with who you choose in that type of situation. Okay. I love y'all too. I had a great time. We've been on for like an hour and 30 minutes. Make sure before we leave, you click like. Click like, y'all. Everybody, take 1 second right now. Click like, please. The reason why, because I like to give y'all a reason why, it lets other people know that it's a good video to watch. It lets YouTube know this is a good video to watch. It costs you nothing. It's free of charge, and it helps your girl out. Y'all always asking me how to help me out. And I think that is one major way to help me out, guys. So make sure that you click that like button. Share this with your friends, your family, anyone who could benefit from it. I know there's a lot of young students that are going off to college that are graduating, or this is their last year of college or high school or any age, because any of us can be getting our priorities straight and set at this point in life. So I love y'all. We'll be doing this again. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. I'm about to go watch some of my Ratchet TV. It's Real Housewives of Potomac about to come on. It's time to hit that up. But I love y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.